Hi, in this video I'm going to tell you about introduction of the essay that you're writing. Introduction I often consider as the most important part of your essay, and this is the place where you would imagine the examiner is setting an image about yourself in mind. If you have set up a good image, a lot of your mistakes can be ignored. So I'm giving you an ideal type introduction, what all must be there in the introduction. Normally, if you talk about the size of the introduction, well, of course, I would normally follow the classical approach of writing essay. Introduction and conclusion jointly should have 1/3 space. Let's say if you're writing 1200 word essay, I would assume that you should be having 400 for introduction and conclusion combined together, which means 200 words that goes for introduction and 200 words goes for conclusion. For introduction, if you have 200 words, I'm going to give you some components that you should be incorporating. When I say 200, I don't really mean 200. It can be a little less than 200, a little more than 200 also. Please go by the natural flow. One of the component of introduction is announcement that you have got. Announcement is something when you are actually trying to establish a rapport with the reader that this is what I interpret from this topic. Like my vision of India 2020, if you have that topic, you have the same topic for somebody sitting in Niti Aayog, somebody sitting in class 8th, somebody sitting for the civil service examination. Everybody would have its own take of this, my vision of India 2020. So you have to, at that stage, give what you feel about this topic. So announcement could be immediate. You can start from the line 1 itself. Announcement can be delayed also, like you can write something and then come to the next few lines to the main theme, or it can be like explicit also, where you're giving literal meaning of the word. It can be implicit also. If you ask my personal favorite, I would say the announcement should be implicit and little delayed, not too delayed, but then 2-3 lines that you write about it and give an idea as to what you can expect the examiner to feel about it. Second component of introduction is scoping. And in scoping, what I basically mean is that you're giving what can be expected in this essay, the game plan that you have got. In the previous video, I was talking to you about the frameworking, and the same thing I'm talking about here, that you should be giving as part of your scoping, where you can give as this can be expected in this essay. Third thing that you should be doing as far as introduction is concerned is attention grabber. See, it's very important that the examiner should realize that this is a special essay. And then I'm not thinking about anything else but this essay for next 20-25 minutes when I'm reading this essay. So attention grabber is one thing that you should be doing, and there are a lot of ways to grab the attention of the examiner. Like one way is like stressing the importance of the topic. I mean, if you're stressing the importance of the topic, people will realize, yeah, right, it's very important. So I think better be looking at that. Also, you can have some startling facts. If you're giving certain facts which somebody takes as a shock value, that could be also one fact, one way to draw the attention. You can also have, let's say, some curiosity. You write some sentences which create some expectancy in the mind of the reader, and that's also one way to do about it. Another way to do about it is like anecdote. Lots of people give anecdotes, like a small story, but then it must be rehearsed and practiced. Anecdote, a small short story that you have got. Sometimes some quotes people give it. I would say that if you're giving quotes, it has to be something which is acceptable to the larger masses. So I suppose the quotes can be also one of them. My simple intention is, if you just know that in introduction I have to do something like that, you would be already ahead of a lot of students who do not know that introduction must include some attention grabber also. And this is the way I would like you to go about it. And the fourth component is the tonality. In the previous video, I was trying to explain to you different tones that we have got. And then if you do not want to commit a tone, you can still use a tongue-in-cheek tonality. Tongue-in-cheek tonality, like putting your tongue in the cheek, and then probably you're not committing anything. You're speaking, but you're not speaking. So if you have some tone like pessimist, serious, somber, optimist, enthusiastic, or tongue-in-cheek, any tone that you've decided, write a few sentences thinking about that. Now, my point is that for academic purpose, I have written these 4 points, but it's quite possible that when you're announcing, you can include tone itself. Or you're doing a scoping, you can do tone itself. Or maybe in a scoping also, you have used some attention grabber. These are the 4 items that you can possibly take you mentally, and then say like, hey, I have done my introduction. So that's the way I would like to go about it. These 4 components should reflect maybe as part of each other or otherwise also, but then they should go as a component of your introduction.